Moving on. Here, with respect to buyback, friends, in the Companies Act point of view, the buyback of shares when I talk about, there are some practical points what we have to bear in mind, and let us think about them. Imagine, you and I went to watch a movie, and I don't know whether you are still in the habit of going and standing in the queue early in the morning to get tickets. I think most of you just do online booking and just go to the movie after your online ticket booking. But during my school days and college days, we used to go stand in the queue at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to get maybe like a couple of tickets for premium movies. Now, say you are standing in the queue, concentrate carefully, right? You are standing in front of me, I'm standing behind you, and there are a few more people behind me, there are a few more people before you, right? Imagine I try to just cross you and jump the line, and I'm trying to go in front of you to get the ticket, right? Think about it. I am crossing the line, I am pushing you back, I am moving to the front, and I am trying to get the ticket. For a moment you said, chalo theek hai yaar, chhod do, no problem. You just allowed me to go. I got the ticket and immediately the counter closed. That's it, that was the last ticket they sold, the counter closed. Now, look at the anger in your heart. Stupid fellow, you crossed the line, you jumped the line, you went and got the ticket, and I did not get the ticket. And your anger is not that I got the ticket and you did not get it. Your real anger is, I was standing behind you in the line, I pushed you, I went into the front and got a ticket, and you did not get the ticket. Your real anger is, I was not entitled to receive it, you are more entitled to receive it, you did not get it, I got it. That is your anger, correct or not, right? Now, friends, the same thing happens in a company also. There is a way in which people are supposed to receive money. Debenture holders, say they are supposed to receive money. After that, preference shareholders. After that, equity shareholders. Now imagine somebody who is standing last in the queue just walks over smartly and grabs money, and company runs out of money. The exact anger what you had when I got the ticket and you did not get the ticket, the debenture holders and other creditors will have in a company for the same logic. Why? Hey, that's not the line, that's not the sequence we are supposed to follow. How can you jump the line and take money which I am entitled to take? Did you understand the point? I am repeating. If in a company there are 3 people standing in the line, 1, 2, 3. After 1, 2 should get, after 2, 3 should get. If 3 bypasses the line and takes money, and imagine if the company runs out of money, who is at risk? A is at risk, 1 is at risk, and 2 is also at risk. So that's the problem, friends. That is why in Companies Act, when we have these buyback provisions, what the Companies Act tried to understand is, when people jump the line, who are the people, who are the persons who are jumping the line? Equity shareholders. Where are equity shareholders standing in the line? If the company becomes insolvent or if the company is liquidating, it can liquidate even if it is solvent. So the company is closing down. If the company is closing down, imagine all the people to whom company should pay money. Imagine notionally, company says, hey, come on, stand in line and collect money. There will be different people to whom company distributes. I will talk about the actual sequence in which people should stand in the line when I come to liquidation chapter. But now what I am saying is, people are standing in the line. When people are standing in the line, definitely the one who is last in the line is equity shareholder. I am repeating, the one who is last in the line is equity shareholder. Buyback provisions are critical, important, because please understand, the one who is standing last in the line, equity shareholder, is getting money back before others. Are you clear about the problem now? Why buyback provisions are important? How do we give money to that last person without making others angry? How to give money to the last person without making others angry? That balancing is the most beautiful thing what we learn as a part of buyback of shares. Great. Now the big challenge that we have in front of us is this. How do you give tickets in that movie line to somebody standing last in the queue without making others angry, right? Now, if I tell you for a moment that, hey, the tickets which we had for distribution to all of you will remain as they are, listen carefully. But we will add one more chair, and for that extra chair what we are going to add, we are giving ticket to the last person who is standing in the queue. If I say that, do you think the anger of these other people will come down? Yes, because the tickets which these people are entitled to get, if we are giving away to the last person, and then if these people don't get tickets, then they will get angry. So the last person is getting a ticket out of a fresh chair which is being added in the cinema theatre, not from the existing chairs. Then the possibility of anger may be low. The same way in a company, if I want to give money to the equity shareholders, see, they are standing last in the queue. For those who are standing last in the queue, if I want to give money without making others angry, I want to see smileys on everybody's face. Now, ensuring smile on everybody's face, how can we do that? By adding fresh shares. One option is by adding fresh shares. So, you are bringing fresh capital and saying that, hey, existing resources we are not drying up, we are bringing fresh capital. With that fresh capital which is coming in, we will pay the equity shareholders. So if fresh capital is being introduced, it could be preference or maybe some other form of equity shares. Generally it can't be equity shares, because I wouldn't want to buy back equity shares if I want to issue fresh shares, right? So the regulation, even though it says fresh issue of shares, I want to read it more as shares which must be other than, different from the shares which we are buying back. Maybe in terms of rights or the category of shares, they must be different, right? So I am repeating, what is the regulation saying? Regulation says issue fresh shares. With those proceeds, you can buy back the existing shares. When I say buy back, you are taking away the share and giving money, right? The point is that what is available in the ticket counter here, it's not tickets. Money is available. You are distributing money to somebody. You are giving away money to somebody and taking their share back and saying go home, right? To say that if we are infusing fresh capital, excellent. So if you are infusing fresh capital, with that fresh capital you can buy back and send those equity shareholders home. So how much you can buy back and all percentage we'll talk about later. Understand the logic, then all those nitty-gritties of calculation we will come to, right? This is one way. The others standing in the line before equity shareholders do not have a reason to be angry or furious about it, because the money what was eligible for them before equity shareholders remains intact, right? Now look at another scenario. It is not fresh proceeds. Fresh proceeds case comes when you want to reduce or you want to remove one source of capital, but you want to add another source of capital. I told you about this in our dividend decision conversation. I said one source of capital which is costlier we want to reduce, and cheaper source of capital we might want to add, because we want money but we want cheaper cost of capital money. So that's not the scenario, say. In that, if that is a scenario, you can do this. Bring fresh capital which is lower in terms of cost of capital and give away money which has higher cost of capital. But that's not the case. If I talk about something like, hey, we have more money, something like what Apple might do. Apple says, hey, we have too much of money. I don't know where to invest this money. I would as well buy back some shares and give money away to the shareholders. So the problem is not in this case about replacing one capital with another capital. No, that's not the problem. The problem is we don't want that money. We have so much money. I want to give away some money. Now in such case, the people who are standing in the queue may have a problem. The people who are standing in the lane may have a problem. I am repeating, friends, concentrate carefully. You want to buy back shares from whom? From equity shareholders. When you buy back shares, what do? You give them money. Achha. When you give them money, that money is flowing out of business. That money is flowing out of business, and all others standing in the line are looking at this. Hey, what is this? Money is just crossing over me and going to equity shareholders. Why am I not getting? I am standing in the queue before equity shareholders, but why am I not getting that money? This kind of question can come in the minds of others. The regulation what Companies Act came up with actually addresses this concern. How do we make sure that the people who are standing in the line before equity shareholders, how can we do some sort of fair adjustment, some sort of fair settlement mechanism, so that the interest of these people is not affected. These people should not suffer because of buyback. So it shouldn't be a case where all the money that is there in the company goes for buyback and we don't pay debentures, we don't pay loans. No, that shouldn't happen, right? So for that, beautiful mechanisms have been given in the Companies Act. Friends, this is the background. Now the next aspect what we should learn is exactly what does Companies Act give as principles to achieve this objective. What objective you want to achieve, we are clear about now. So how do we make them happy? How do we make the people who are standing before shareholders happy? So that's the objective. To achieve that, the principles given by Companies Act, we call them conditions, etc. Let us check those conditions carefully.